When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever.
Sick with the talk, passing your receiver.
All about running the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A+ the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
simultaneously over joints we rock.
We earn
30 years so you can say we got.
Dream turn.
Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
We install doubt in you and your yes men.
And if the game had veins, we'll insert
upheaval the ground.
Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. Relieving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all.
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Texans. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken near the 13. And what a return. He's all the way down to the 30.
That return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. They still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
They don't want to waste this outstanding field position on this opening drive as they come up on 3rd down. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Check 13. Check 13. Whip. Watch the whip. Watch the shit. Hey, watch the shit.
First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Gun.
Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, Got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4. So much for picking it up on the ground on third down. Third play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game. Nearly
a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now Watson. Got a man open. It's Wims. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a 1st down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Mike is 59. Mike the 59.
From the gun on third, Watson. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Mike set. 59. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Hey, Alpha. 41 Mike. 41 Mike.
Following the interception, Cousins. He's going to air one out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. To throw is Cousins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Third and long for Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
First down, and they'll try to run the option left. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Here's a give to Madison running right. And all this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the second straight play. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
It's going to be a long day, offense.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a first down. Throwing, Cousins. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup of someone trying to cover them, but they also have those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch them close to the spot.
Cousins now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
Check 31, check 31. Jim. Rhino. 25, check 25. Jim.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Going on the ground with Madison. 4 yards there on the carry. Gets it back to 2nd and 11.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And the ball is knocked out. And the Texans scoop it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Smith catches left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5.
Check 26, check 26. In the car.
From the gun, here's Watson. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. That'll be complete to Breida.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To the air yet again. Watson dancing to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Now Fournette, and he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Here's Watson. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late 2nd quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, bad spot for you, but the defense has all 3.
They've got his man complete. A big play there just before halftime. 48 yards. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Come on, boys, come on.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Johnson, the intended target. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field, you take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Now on 2nd and 16. Watson, room to run past midfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Well, they're still looking for that first touchdown. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Credit the sack to Corey Legion.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Hey, dude.
Now Cousins. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. And this is gonna wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, exit. 55.
Draw play, Madison. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now it's Watson. It's caught on the right side of Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
And I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And the Texans scoop it. And a tough turnover there as now they will have it at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal.
Well, that's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll give Fournette another crack. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
I got you.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Matt Breida, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And the conversion good. He's got it. So the lead swells to 16-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Boy, the run on 1st down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
Receiver. Bravo.
Now on 2nd and 16. Cousins. He's going to wind up and he's got a man. Complete. That one good for 37 yards. A cool little accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards. He just surpassed that for his career.
When he was a little guy in the backyard just throwing it around probably with his dad, he thought about playing in the NFL. He dreamed of it. But to put up these kind of numbers while doing so, that's got to be kind of cool.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Roquan Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
To try again after the sack. Cousins under pressure again, and down he goes again. Roquan Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Cousins now. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Texans scoop it. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Houston. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
Again, it's Fournette. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. Throwing on third down, Watson. He wants it all for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Javon Wims, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Frank Clark getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here third and long. On third down, they run with Madison, and he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a fourth down. Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. To throw is Watson. He's got Smith here. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, Steve 6.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Yellow.
Cousins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Emmanuel Agba, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Matt Weil now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Taking it about the 16. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Throwing now, Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Smith. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there, 1st down. On 1st down, Watson steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Right there, 54. Right there, 54.
Watson on 1st down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 36 yards on the play. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Back to throw, Watson. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play, now 2nd and 13. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Houston, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's loss number 3 for them on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.